Go. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Changemakers podcast. I'm so excited to be here today. Remember, this is a platform where we've got trailblazers, we've got leaders, transformational leaders, and influencers. And when I say influencers, I do not mean people that are just driving followers, but people that are really making huge impact in their environment and in the lives of the people around them. I'm so honored to have with me here Ben Fox. Ben is a transformational coach and he's been in business for 3 years. I can't wait really to hear all the gist behind what Ben is doing because I know they are exciting and I don't want to say that the road is exciting, but I can't wait to hear all the gist behind everything you've been doing. I'm so excited to have you here, Ben. Welcome.
Thank you, Vicky, for having me on.
Can you tell us about your coaching, your transformational coaching, and everything? If there's any other project you're working on currently, we would like to hear everything behind it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, thank you for having me on. I appreciate this honor.
Hmm.
And so, I do transformation coaching currently for the past 3 years. But before that, I also did a major in psychology as well as worked as a crisis counselor for a few different organizations like Crisis Text Line, Regesh. I worked as an ABA para professional for a few years through OHEL, Yellow Vialda. I also have been, I'm currently in a school psychology doctoral program to become a
Yeah,
psychologist
that.
and current extern at Brooklyn College Personal Counseling Center. So I've got my hands full a bit. But in terms of the coaching, I am, my approach towards the coaching is that I get in a call with a client and we make a dual commitment
Mm-hmm.
to a specific result and we say, okay, how long will get, let's measure the result. Anxiety to go from a 7.5 to a 2.5. Okay, so now
Yeah.
how long will that take? Okay, that'll take 6 months, a year. Okay, we're committed to that amount of time. This is how we're going to get there. We're going to have my video course. We're going to have, I'm going to be your accountability partner through daily texting. We're going to have one-on-one sessions once a week, 45 minutes. We'll have a group session for other, usually other men in the program for, in a group, hour, 15 minutes once a week. And then through all these different types of supports, as well as the WhatsApp group and other types of supports, articles, video modules, quizzes, we're able to really give them the full package of support that gets them to their result. And then the modality that I use is to help everyone realize that there's no need to get rid of any part of themselves. So,
Okay.
like you'll hear to like get rid of their past, if they get rid of like leave your past behind, leave your fears behind, leave your anger behind, leave your pain behind. And I don't believe in that. I don't believe you need to let go of anything, release it, move on. I think you need to let it in. I think the people, your emotions are communications. They're messengers. They're advocating for a specific need of yours that needs to be addressed, and they're letting you know about it. So getting rid of them is getting rid of the messenger, not the problem.
Okay.
They're not the problem. They're the ones informing you of something that needs a solution.
Wow.
So, so that's what my approach is, and I help people learn to accept, respect, and integrate every part of them and receive their communications. And that way, these parts of you can help become the allies and friends that they are in your life.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yesterday I saw something when that someone wrote about um, the regret and all of those emotional feelings as the symptoms of the problem and not exactly the problem. And it's so interesting hearing that again from you. And I really appreciate everything you're doing because more than ever now, presently, what you're doing is needed. A lot of people have experienced ups and downs, a roller coaster ride this year. It's been good for many, for some people, and it's not been good for some people. A lot of people might not be able to maybe know how to handle whatever they go through. And thank you for making yourself available for this kind of work. Number one, I just want to ask you, what inspired you to think of going for a PhD? It's a good thing. It's really a good thing. I've got someone who had PhD, but my husband is a doctor. But I just want to know because it's not something that one can just think of in a day and just say, I want to. It has to come with, well, you know what you're doing.
100%. That's true. It's not something you're like, oh, let me just embark on 4 years of undergrad and another 4 to 5 years of doctoral program, and another year or two afterwards of get 1,500 hours of supervision and NASPA exam and licensure exam. it's not
Wow.
something, it's not something that you just walk into.
Yeah.
You're dealing with thousands, if not tens of thousands of hours here. So it's really a massive, you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars of investment in education, training, and experience, supervision. It's really, it's a major, major ordeal. Um, and I think it's worthwhile. And then I'll tell you, one of
Yeah.
my rabbis, Rabbi Eitan Feiner, he told me this. He said to me that if you're going to go into a field, be the best at it.
Right.
He said, become the master of your trade. He says, become an accountant, become the best accountant.
Right.
And the idea is that we're meant in this world to make the biggest impact that we can. And sometimes people are eager to just get going and get started. And that's a good idea. And that's what I did as well. I did do that. I think that's a good thing. But I also wanted to have a parallel track where I'm looking to optimize my individual strengths
Okay.
to make me reach my maximum impact I could have on my clients.
Right.
I'm always in a parallel process. I'm working with clients, and then I'm also trying to become a better clinician, a better
Yeah.
person who can help them get to their results.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Absolutely. And that's one thing. The more you serve people, the more you grow because you become a better person. You understand what works and what the more so if you're teachable, that's a good thing for an individual who is willing to learn, who is willing to receive correction, who is willing to adjust. And so what made you start this coaching business? That's the second one. What inspired you? Why transformational coaching?
Yeah. So, well, first thing is I didn't want to have to wait till I was done with school
That's a smart move.
to start impacting people. I felt like I'll become my best at a certain point, but even as I am now, I feel like I am able to get them results. And I have those video testimonials on my website at coachbensonfox.com where I have real people getting those real results in this area. I mean, it's not just a theoretical
Mhm.
modality. So me by saying I need to wait till I'm fully licensed and everything, that's depriving the world of, not to sound too narcissistic, but in a way it's true that we need to be very self-aware that of our abilities and not only wait to impact the world when we're at our state of near perfection.
Yeah.
So, and the reason for our transformation coaching is because I feel like that I try to work specifically with people who are more resistant to therapy or people who have been resistant to, meaning that therapy hasn't worked well for them.
Wow.
So I'm trying to like be laser focused on getting them their results because there could be people who go to one therapist, another therapist,
Mhm.
and one approach to another approach, and they're just not getting what they want from it. And that's
Mhm.
why I have the system where where we both commit to getting your result, and I try to give all the types of support, and I use the system that's worked well for me. This idea of how every part of you is useful in the right dose and context, and we're not looking to put the good box and the bad box. So like there's
Right.
the negative box and the positive. It's
Mhm.
all good, and it's just about achieving the right balance and the right dose, the right context for every part of ourselves.
Yeah, I agree 100%, 100%. So when you started this project, either your PhD or this coaching business, did you experience rejection from families and friends? And how did you handle that? Or is it
Yeah,
something
well,
you wouldn't want to mention?
I get it. I get it. People are skeptical for coaches. I was too. I actually, it's a funny story. When I originally joined coaching, I thought this is a joke. I'm like, I'm spending 8 to 10 years becoming a psychologist, and people think that without a certification or with like a 3 month certification, 60 hours, that they could just stroll in and do the same thing that I'm going to be doing after all this time.
Hmm.
I originally only went for this the coaching certification is to boost my resume to get into school of psychology doctoral program. So it was
Wow.
so it was not meant to be a career choice.
Okay.
Once I did it, I drank the Kool-Aid and I was like, you know what? I realized that there's a different role to play, that
Yeah.
there's a role
Mm,
of a facilitator to get people to their goals, and there's idea of
okay.
helping people process their deepest emotions. So I'm someone that's
Yeah.
actually good at both because that's what I'm being trained, I'm getting educated, I've
Awesome.
experienced in.
Awesome.
But generally speaking, people who aren't, it's there's a separate role that doesn't need as much training and experience or
Okay.
education to just help people get to their goals. They want to lose weight, you help facilitate them. You believe that they have all the answers. They're the expert in their own lives, and your job is just to give them access to their own self knowledge, self
Right.
awareness, self motivation, self inspiration. So
Yeah.
it's really about just being facilitating them, and that's not as intense or as needing as much education as in helping people improve their mental health.
Awesome. Wow. Thank you so much. Was there a time when finance was an issue?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, there was. This took me a while. Listen, this has been a 3-year journey so far, and I
Yeah.
think the journey is getting started.
Yeah.
And when I started out, I was struggling to get clients. It's hard. It's a tough business. It's a
Yeah.
low bar of entry. The field's flooded, so people don't know that you're good at what you do. They can't
Mhm.
tell the difference. It's very hard to tell. It becomes about who's a better marketer versus
Right.
who's a better coach, who gets better results for their clients.
Mhm.
So it took me a while to get me on my feet and that, now I have financial independence, but before that it was hard. I was taking out student loans,
Yeah.
and it's hard to get by. But eventually, I decided to hire a business coach. The first
Okay.
one, disaster,
Hmm.
didn't work out, ripped me off, lost $1,000.
Wow.
I was burnt a little bit. I didn't want to try again. I'm like, you know what? That's it. Let me do it myself. But then I realized that I'm not trained to be a marketer. I
Yeah.
didn't go to school for this. This is not where my superpower is, and I want to stay within my superpower,
Right.
just to even be the most efficient and be the most optimized. So, what I did was I switched to, um, I got a different coach and business coach. And in the beginning, I wasn't happy with them either, but eventually it worked, and there it was a good program, and it got me what I wanted from it. And I'm still growing, and thank God I have my Facebook group now with 500 members who are
Wow.
looking to grow. We have like a thousand 500 engagements every month, and thank God things are going the right direction. We have the website set up at coachbensonfox.com, and I feel
Right.
like I am on a good trajectory,
Yeah.
to improve my business, but most importantly also to just give my potential clients access to me where they could learn to develop a relationship with me for free and get free
Mhm.
value and all these things
Mhm.
without having to pay anything, and then they can learn to trust and see if I am the right person for them.
Yeah. Right. Thank you so much. Thank you so, so much for sharing all of this information. Because sometimes people look at those who are succeeding in their field and they assume they have it all put together. And they don't see the process, the hard work, the disappointments, the failures. I know and I've heard before that a lot of people get burned from coaches. And thank you for not giving up and still seeing the need to get someone. And that's also part of the journey. And so far that you are here today and other people can hear that. In case any of our audience is feeling discouraged, just know that that's not the end of the road. You need to look into the old situation and check where the problem is and still make another decision. Giving up shouldn't be an option. And was there any time where negative thoughts crosses your mind, or you feel tired, you feel, is this something you should be doing at all? And how do you manage that? How do you get yourself going?
Yeah, no, never. That never happens.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
I'll just say you are the first person.
Yeah, I'm just perfect. It was smooth sailing. It's been all rainbows and ponies, all positive. It's have such a good mindset that I've never really had any struggles like that. No, so of course, I've had, obviously the part of the reason why I'm in this field is because that's
Mhm.
where I was coming from. It's a place where it's been difficulty to manage to try to find a better balance between positive and negative thoughts, to
Yeah.
build a better relationship with my negative thoughts. So yes, at times it can get overwhelming, and
Okay.
it's about striking the right balance between listening to respecting every voice inside of you, inside of me. I'll say it for myself, that
Mhm.
it's a lifelong process to learning to
Yeah.
find how to way to manage them. The more important than manage them, I think, is really building the right type of relationship with yourself.
Okay.
So that means if you're finding that you have, let's say, a negative emotion, or you have a pain or anger with yourself or with someone else, the reaction isn't like, okay, let's do a anti-anxiety exercise. Let me go for a run. Let me watch some Netflix. Let me go
Yeah.
for a massage, or right away, like you're looking to like get rid of the emotion. But that's not, again, that's not my approach. I don't believe
Mhm.
that's the right, I don't think it works. I don't think it works well. It could work well for like for maybe that day, but
Yeah.
then
It will
but
still
then that
come back. Hmm.
yeah, but then it comes back, because, and it's good that it comes back. It's good
Okay.
because that's what you need. Right? Imagine if you put your hand on a stove and you didn't feel pain.
Okay.
Your hand would get could get permanent damage from that.
Yeah.
So pain protects us physically. Then you
Exactly.
could reach back your hand. It's the same thing. Emotional pain.
Okay.
Emotional pain will give us the motivation and the energy, and to listen to the message that our emotion is telling us. So the emotion will tell us, don't let people treat you like that.
Mm.
Stop them from treating you like that, because your needs are not being met in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And so instead of trying to get rid of the anger, it's not good to be angry. Anger is good. Anger is
Yeah.
good. Sadness is good. Shame is good. Self disgust is good. Everything is good in the right dose, in the right context. And the idea is to rebuild that relationship. And that's what the work that I'm doing for myself. And that's the work that I help my clients do. And for myself, it's a lifelong journey. For my clients, it's a lifelong journey. And we're always trying to find a better way to achieve that
Yeah.
balance.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It's been so wonderful having you on this platform. And guys, Ben has a gift for us. And this gift uh, is original article and podcast recordings. Ben, can you tell us where they can get all of these freebies? We are so grateful for what you're offering.
Sure. So
Yeah.
go to coachbensonfox.com, and go under the menu 10, and there you'll see I have tons of awesome original quotes as well, original
Hmm.
pictures in the background. I
Wow.
have the all the podcast recordings I will upload there eventually.
Okay.
And yeah, and you can reach me email at results@coachbensonfox.com. And yeah, and if you're a Jewish man, you could go to Jewish Men for Joy, Balance, and Growth. But I work with many people. I work specifically with men usually.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, and you go check out the testimonials there as well, because I want it to be that if a person's going to be joining my program, that there should be trust in the process, because I'm not looking to go work session by session and try to both
Mhm.
come to one session. Not, we're looking for a serious commitment, that you need to be just as committed as I am to getting you to your
Yeah.
result.
Yeah.
And that's the only way it'll happen. So go ahead, check out the website, coachbensonfox.com. Email me results at coachbensonfox.com,
Yeah.
and we could see if we're a good fit, and we could set up a free consultation for that.
Right. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. It's been so wonderful having you today. And we look forward to having you one more time in the course of the year if you're free, because we know your hands are full now. You've got a lot of things ongoing. And yeah, guys, I look forward to seeing you next week. This has been
I'd
so
be happy to be on again. Yes,
yeah,
I'm busy, but not for this.
yeah,
Not for this.
Ben will be on again. So just watch out. Thank you so much.